How's everybody doing? Share it out. Share it to the evidence server if you don't mind. This is a very late submission to the Chris Cankles competition. I figured I would start out with this. Yeah, I'm not late as fuck. Only 2 minutes late. How is everybody doing? So this is going to be an awareness live for Miss Unknown. Not on Miss Unknown, but for her. Yeah. Specifically for Miss Unknown. I think it's going to be helpful. Maybe. Hopefully Miss Unknown can come in. I know it is 2 p.m. her time, and she should be waking up about now. All right, so the subject of the live is her, Miss Unknown. We're going to see how long this live stays up. Not because of what I'm going to say, but because the image that I'm displaying, the algorithm is surely they pick up and say, what is this man doing? Making fun of this raggedy crackhead. We're going to find out today why Miss Unknown can't read. And why she can't comprehend things. So, this is Miss Unknown. Or Tasha. Whatever you want to call her. We're gonna talk today of how crack cocaine affects the brain. So, once I get my composure back, I didn't expect to lose it that quick. So, crack cocaine is the freebase form of cocaine. It's smoked rather than snorted, which makes it hit the brain faster and harder. That rush floods the brain with dopamine, the feel-good chemical, but at a massive and unnatural rate. Let's give her a different angle. It ain't no better. But you can't see her baby daddy's name on her chest right there. If you screenshot it, it's Terrell. She dumb. But anyways, so here's what the flood does over time. It burns out the dopamine receptors, making it harder to feel normal without it. It destroys the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for logic, reading, comprehension, attention span, and moral decision making. Ma'am, that symptom's like right there. It alters neural pathways, which impairs short and long-term memory, which is probably why she hears one thing and says it a complete and total different way. It decreases blood flow to the brain, literally starving it of oxygen and nutrients. It's like taking a blowtorch to your brain's operating system and then wondering why it doesn't work. If that doesn't explain Miss Unknown 100% of the way, I don't know what does. So, from experience of experiencing Miss Unknown, yes, I am speaking from experience. I'm reading this directly off of ChatGPT, by the way. So, why crack makes reading and comprehension harder? Well, reading and comprehension require attention and focus, memory, vocabulary recall, abstract reasoning, logic sequencing. These are all things that are deeply affected by crack use. Miss Unknown. Specifically, crack users often show deficits in working memory. So, they'll read a sentence but forget how it started halfway through. Miss Unknown. Attention span is wrecked. They can't stay mentally engaged for long enough to actually process what's being read. Miss Unknown. Verbal IQ drops. They may struggle to define words or string coherent thoughts together. Miss Unknown. Paranoia and delusions distort meaning. They often read what they want to see and not what's actually there. Miss Unknown. This is why you can't hand a crack user a basic document and they'll butcher it. Well, this is why you can hand a crack user a basic document and they'll butcher it, misread it, or completely invent a meaning that isn't there. Miss Unknown. Why it lowers IQ and makes Miss Unknown dumb as fuck. IQ isn't just book smarts. It's about problem solving, verbal ability, processing speed, and memory. Crack cocaine damages all of those. Miss Unknown. Specific IQ drops from crack. Studies show a chronic crack use can drop IQ by 10 to 20 points. Fluid intelligence, the ability to reason and adapt to new situations, takes a major hit. Crackheads often confuse confidence for competence. Miss Unknown. Thinking they're sharp while being totally out of touch. Again, Miss Unknown. It's not just dumb in the mean way. It's dumb in the literal clinical brain damage sense. They might think they're clever while saying things that make no sense, misusing words, and being unable to follow logic. Miss Unknown. Why crack users are seen as untrustworthy and non-credible. Crack addiction rewires your brain to chase one thing, the next hit. That means lying becomes automatic. They'll lie for money, sympathy, attention, anything. Miss Unknown. They'll say whatever they think will get a reaction, even if it's obviously false. Miss Unknown. Their stories are full of holes, contradictions, and drama because they weren't living real life. They were chasing a high. Miss Unknown. You can't trust someone who isn't even grounded in reality. That's not a character judgment. That's a neurochemical truth. They lie like they breathe, and they might not even know they're doing it anymore. Do you, Miss Unknown? It took a minute to generate this, Alexandra. Why they often seem dumb as fuck. Let's be honest. Repeating stories that make no sense. My chat GPT is vulgar, by the way. I asked it what it looked like when I talked to it, and it was huddled in a corner, afraid. Repeating stories that make no sense. Making wild accusations with no evidence. Miss Unknown. Misreading simple statements and reacting with aggression. Miss Unknown. Speaking in half sentences, slang, and broken logic. Miss Unknown. When she says mute, she sounds like a deaf dog being kicked. Thinking everything is a plot against them. Miss Unknown. Showing zero understanding of nuance, sarcasm, irony, or metaphor. Miss Unknown. This is not just drug damage. This is the collapse of the cognitive function. They become loud, chaotic, and irrational. Fucking Christ, Miss Unknown. This shit is explaining you to a fucking T, okay? And they rarely realize how far they've gone because they are I must be smoking crack too because I can't read that word. Introspection. Because introspection is the first thing to go. Not smoking crack, by the way. Just figured the joke fit in there. Why people avoid them. You can't reason with them. Miss Unknown, what the fuck? You can't trust them. They often lie and steal. They embarrass themselves publicly. Miss Unknown. They obsess over drama and delusions. Again, Miss Unknown. They drag down everyone around them. Miss Unknown. Right. I feel like I've got to smoke crack to roast this woman. And I know it's not fur. It's not fur at all. Let me get the YouTube sound of a deaf dog getting kicked, and then I'll ask people not to mute people and then make that sound when I say mute. Because I can't do it. I tried to do it like fucking 20 times before I fucking started this live. Anyways, the brutal truth is, crack fries your brain. It breaks your ability to think, read, or reason. It turns you into someone people can't trust, can't talk to, and can't believe. It doesn't just make you look dumb. It makes you functionally dumb. And if you don't stop, the damage becomes permanent. The end. We stayed up far longer than I thought. I said crack so many times. I thought we were going to go down. And Miss Unknown's face is here. So, who wants to come up and speak about Miss Unknown and why she's a raggedy fucking crackhead? If you don't want to, I don't blame you, because she's a fierce raggedy crackhead that won't like reason at all. Like, she obsesses over people. It's me now. Muke. There we go. But the way she says it, it really does sound like a deaf dog getting kicked. I'm not even fucking playing. I've never personally heard a deaf dog getting kicked. I just imagine a deaf person talking, translating that to a bark, and then making it like sound like a deaf person talking, barking. That's what it sounds like. She is hate bonded and crack smoking. Gotta be. Because I will tell you what, I ain't ever seen a more fucking feisty fucking raggedy crackhead than Miss Unknown. And I don't give a fuck the shit she said about me this morning. I have every fucking right to talk about her. Yeah, she will watch this and tell me how she's conversed. What she said this morning was that I was the one that was talking to a 16-year-old. And, like, wildly, nobody fucking corrected her and said that was Dennis. Like, she completely did not comprehend and just, like, turned that shit around and was just like, everything Dennis did, she said, I did. Yeah. It's weird as fuck. That's why I think she's smoking crack. Because when she was saying that, I'm like, what fucking disability does this woman have? And then, I mean, I typed in the symptoms into ChatGPT and I said, this bitch is smoking crack. And I'm like, makes fucking sense. I mean, no, not at all. And she doesn't have proof either. If she does not show proof, because she said I even said it. So I want her to play that recording or she is never going to live this bullshit down. Because I don't know how somebody could get so confused or conversed. She needs to murk up, muke up, whatever it is. I know, she never has proof. It's the attention that she wants. It's just my attention that she don't want, because she doesn't understand that all the people that she's sitting with right now, egging her on, set her ass up. They set her up because they did the same thing to her that they did to Mikey. They said, hey, go fuck with Florida Man until you cross a line with him, and then he does not lay the fuck off of you. So you get hyper-focused on him so you don't fuck with us when we do our fuck shit. That's what they did. So now, it is known that Miss Unknown smokes crack. And if she can't show a receipt for what she said about me this morning, I can just explain the side effects of smoking crack, and we can make the comparison for ourselves. Not like she ever going to show her crack pipe on the live, but I'd rather smoke crack with Lisa than Miss Unknown anyways, honestly. Lisa seems nicer and more reasonable. Yeah, Tasha keeps screaming for me to dox her. I know she does. But I want that knowledge to myself. Because if she opens her motherfucking mouth about me again without apologizing first, she gonna get a knock at the door by them police and fucking welfare checked. Because something must be off in her motherfucking head. And I ain't joking either. Nobody condones it. I know it. But they need to go make sure that woman okay. And I only said that so she goes live and I don't know what, 40 minutes and says, oh my God, he threatened to welfare check me, to completely avoid everything else in this conversation of why she smokes crack and to show her fucking receipts on what she said this morning. Well, she's welcome here. She can come into a box here. She can play the audio where I said it. I would like to hear it. It doesn't exist, so she won't be doing that. Yeah.
I've been busy all weekend. Like, I ain't been on, and I know I missed a lot because I've had finals this weekend and I'm taking a break. But what clips I've seen kind of really got to me, especially questioning someone's essay, and then the fact that she made a comment about a girl being 19. It's not the fact that she was 19. It's the fact that she's a young girl that said no. And he persistently, I don't understand where Miss Unknown can't, I guess me being me and the logical thinker that I am, that I just don't get how she don't comprehend that part.
That is what I was getting at with the whole she must smoke crack part. It is a symptom.
I mean, I get that, but at some point your morals have to kick in somewhere and say, hey, no means no. No is a fucking complete sentence.
Loss of morals is also a symptom of crack use.
I know. Hell, even throughout all of my years of drug abuse, I still had morals.
It is permanent if you don't stop in time. She is looking right here. She's looking about 55 or so. 51, according to what I know. It's probably lifelong use, honestly.
I don't know. I think some people needs to take a moral class, ethics class, something. Because if you can't see what is right and wrong when it's presented to you and in your face, then there's something completely fucking wrong with you, and you need to seek help.
Yeah, and by the way, that young lady was my ex, and I think that's why.
I know. I just didn't want to. I wasn't going to say her name. I didn't want to break. I was not going to say her name. I know who she is, but I was not saying it.
The whole Dennis thing is where she's definitely fucking up. She is defending him, and it happens every time. Like, she'll see, but then she'll be like, "Oh, I was confused, and I didn't know, and people didn't show me." Everybody showed her.
Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody. It's been put out. I mean, how many people have covered it and showed it? Hell, I showed it the other night, and I mean,
I read it. So it's not that she said she couldn't read it because I read it to her.
She's hate bonded. And here's what I would really like for her to do is to literally remove you from the situation and look at what is being presented. Remove you. Forget Florida Man for a minute, and look at what is being presented to you, and realize that someone told him no, They was not interested, and he was persistent and kept going with multiple females.
Yes, with multiple females, and saying no and keeping going, and they're all in the same age range.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it's the fact she's so blinded by her hatred for you, and it's to me it's clouding her judgment, and she needs to take a step back and take a seat. I'm trying to be so respectful.
I'm not. Not at all.
I know.
I'm going to be very
But
disrespectful.
listen, I'm not gonna lie. Like my brain is like mush at this moment. I have worked on finals since yesterday. Finally got one submitted. Working on another one, and yeah.
I got a violation, so I'll be back.
Of course you did.
At least I got through my crack rant.
You
but I'll
did.
be back.
I can't believe you didn't go down.